We had a deal, you fucking animal! Oh, dude, did you fuck this bread? You fucked the shit out of this bread. You don't fuck bread, God.
I had me a vision. There wasn't any television. But looking into the
Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Shaun.
It's Sarah.
And welcome to my future husband's Facebook, episode 17. This is actually a second time of recording an episode 17. Because we recorded one, it was actually a week ago.
Yeah.
I never posted it. And it wasn't very good.
I was tired.
Yeah, it was just kind of like not really in the mood to do it, and we just kind of did it. And since we have a limited audience, we don't need to be super consistent at the moment. So we'll just kind of we should probably only do them when we actually feel like doing them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Most part.
That makes a lot of sense.
And we haven't really been going to see like a lot of new movies and stuff too, so it's kind of like we're like, well, what are we going to talk about? And we do watch a lot of stuff, but it's like almost like it's hard to like for some reason it's just things are very forgettable.
Yeah.
So
especially like TV and stuff nowadays.
Yeah, because you watch something and you just like a couple days later you just completely forget about it, like completely.
Like I don't think we ever talked about like Under the Dome or anything really.
Did we start talking about? Yeah, we did
a little bit, but then we kind of just were like
we never finished Under the Dome.
No. See, forgettable.
Yeah, because we kind of just forgot about it. Honestly, like
yeah,
it wasn't good enough that like I was like, oh, I really need to go finish Under the Dome. It was like pretty mediocre.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we watched it like the first like 7 or 8 episodes, like in one night, and then
we marathoned that,
and then never came back to it.
Yeah.
So much for Under the Dome, which is too bad because it's a cool concept and stuff, but it's just
hey, guess what, guys? They're under a clear dome.
Yeah, and it's not like it's not terrible. It's just mediocre.
Yeah, it's not...
Forgettable.
Nothing's really stand out about it.
Yeah, except for maybe...
when the cow got cut in half.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, no.
And that was in the first, 10 minutes.
Of the first episode, yeah.
Yeah.
When the dome falls. And they are under a dome. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it just doesn't... I don't know. It just didn't set my world on fire, like...
A lot of stuff hasn't lately.
The plot had started to develop, but, I don't know. Maybe we'll get back to it eventually.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. You know what's another show we did that too?
What?
Bates Motel.
Oh yeah, we were, super into Bates Motel, and then...
Well, you were super into Bates Motel.
Yeah, I was.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine.
I liked it more than Hannibal.
Well, we didn't watch as much Hannibal. We only watched 2 episodes of Hannibal. And I hear Hannibal gets pretty okay.
Okay.
I'd like to revisit Hannibal and actually watch that the whole season.
I thought Bates Motel was good, though.
I think it's got some good performances and stuff. It's just a lot of this, these kind of serialized television nowadays. It's just gets so contrived at a certain point. And I think Bates Motel gets pretty fucking ridiculous. As far as just suspending your disbelief.
Yeah, I guess so.
About how is this happening and why are these people the motivations are very muddled.
Yeah.
And some characters only exist to serve plot, and rather than be actual characters, they're just there to push the plot forward. Some of the characters, some of the side characters,
and it's painfully obvious, I guess.
Yeah,
but I like it.
But yeah, it's not it's better than Under the Dome.
The kid playing Norman Bates, very good, I think.
Yeah, with Freddie Highmore.
Yeah, I think does a good job.
Vera Farmiga is playing Mrs. Bates, Mommy Bates.
Mommy.
But Mother. No, but I don't know. It's okay. I would definitely like to finish that and probably pick up when season 2 starts or something like that.
Yeah.
Start watching that on a regular basis. I don't know, but so we haven't watched a lot of TV, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I watched The Voice till I'm all caught up current.
Yeah, we started watching The Voice because we talked about this on the unreleased podcast, episode 17.
Oh, that's where we talked about it. Okay.
I chose to watch Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
And that was my decision, and I fully accept that responsibility.
That was fine.
And it was fine. It's a little too like self-congratulatory because they're like celebrities that like are just like, oh, look how great they are because they can learn how to dance in a short period of
But
time.
some of them, like you've said, and I totally agree with you, shouldn't be on that show because they have dance background.
Yeah, like the kid from there's a
High School Musical?
Corbin
Dallas.
Not really. I wish he was Corbin Dallas. Corbin Dallas is the character Bruce Willis plays in The Fifth Element.
No, Corbin Blue.
Corbin Blue even sounds like a dick. No, but he's from High School Musical, and like he has like an intense like choreography based like dance background.
And he was on Broadway, and
yeah, why is he on Dancing with the Stars competing? Why?
I'm more a fan of the Bill Engvalls.
Bill, yeah, I like people like that. I like Bill Engvall because he's the one that comes in, because it's based on like, you know, you call in to vote to keep people from week to week, and every show like that has that one person that you're always like, how do they get as far as they've gotten?
That was him.
Why do people keep voting for this person? And Bill Engvall was that guy on that show, and that's why I liked it, because it fucks the show up.
But I think people voted for him because he was actually trying. He may not have been perfect at it. He's actually kind of bad.
And he's a pretty affable person. Like, he has a big fan base.
Yeah.
That's what kept him on the show.
No, I agree. But
Yeah.
I was just saying, I'd rather see people like that, or like even Jack Osbourne. That's who I was rooting for.
Yeah, I was hoping Jack Osbourne would win because of just the fact that you wouldn't expect him to be, like, even
graceful
at all, or decent. Because, you know, in a weird way, like, I do, like, enjoy, like, watching, like, those, like, kind of choreographed dance stuff, because it takes a real skill, and it takes a real, like, proficiency. So it's like, interesting to watch. It's interesting to watch people learn the process of doing it, and then, like, do it. So, like, there is that kind of appeal to it. Like, the downside for me is definitely the fact that it's celebrities that, like, makes it less enticing, but in the case with Dancing with the Stars, like, I didn't know who half those people were.
I did.
So, like, I didn't, like, the kid from High School Musical, I've never seen High School Musical, I had no idea who he was. Like, there's a few other people I didn't really know who they were. I knew, like,
like Christina Milian, you didn't know who she was.
Yeah. I didn't know who some of those people were, so
good thing you have me around.
That's right, Sarah was able to keep me informed. Yeah, but I didn't really know, so it kind of...
Which is weird, because I don't know how I know half the stuff I know.
Well, you're just like me, like a receptacle for, like, useless trivia.
Yeah.
Mine's just happens to be better trivia to know.
Oh, whatever, man.
No, I have a pretty wide range of just useless fucking, like, movie trivia.
Yeah, I got a lot of pop culture, TV to a point.
Yeah.
Other stuff. Used to play bar trivia.
Yeah, but it's just kind of, I feel like I've been just kind of experimenting with all these shows and these things. Like, since we got Hulu Plus, like, all these shows and stuff that have been around for a long time, they're somewhat institutions, and that I've never watched. And I've actually kind of actively had, like, preconceptions that made me, like, dislike them.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, you know, I'll try to watch it. Like, and in the same kind of hand, we've been, like, listening to a lot of, like, modern pop music from the past, like, couple years. Because I just don't listen to that stuff.
No, I don't really either.
I hadn't even heard any of those, like, any of that music. Like, it's so, like, foreign to me. I have no idea. Like, so, like, and I was like, and I have a lot of preconceptions and assumptions about it.
Right.
So, like, it's interesting to go and listen to it. And, like, I'd say it's probably like a 60-40 split of being, like, right and wrong. Like, I think I'm pretty on, like, as far as, like, their substance and stuff like that, which there is no substance. It's all pretty, like, vapid and horrible and misogynistic, and most of that music is terrible.
We got the fire. We're gonna let it burn. That's one of the songs. I don't even know what that is. It's one of the songs that was on The Voice. That's all she talked about was fire burning.
I don't even know what that is. I don't know that song. Yeah, because I don't listen to that stuff. I think when we started listening to, like, getting reacclimated to modern pop stuff was the whole, like, Miley Cyrus stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like a zeitgeist thing.
Yep.
And you heard about it all the time, and there's some.
So, like, you became kind of curious to see what the whole, like, the hubbub.
Yeah, what was the hullabaloo, and, like, and it was everywhere. Like, people were just talking about it. Everybody had it's like, just like anything, if you have, like, Facebook or Twitter, like, everybody has an opinion about it, so you're gonna, like, read somebody's opinion about it, and it kind of piques your curiosity in a way that it might not have otherwise. So, like, and we actually had a pretty interesting conversation about Miley Cyrus. You and I.
Yeah?
Yeah, we did. I don't know if you remember. No, we were talking about, like, because, you know, there's the perspective that what Miley Cyrus engages in. I know this is kind of a little tangent here,
That's
but
fine.
What Miley Cyrus, like, engages in is some people will have the perspective of it being, like, female empowerment.
Yep.
And just, like, a woman owning her body and her image and all that stuff and doing what she wants to do and feeling, like... But when you watch, like, the music videos and stuff like that, it's anything but that, and they're very, like, weird and, like...
And they're all male-directed.
Well, not just male-directed. But they're also weirdly, like, leading as far as, like some of the scenarios. Like, they have her video for that 23, that song 23.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about her just, like, getting fucked up, basically, at clubs and, like, and being, like, a dirty girl and all this stuff.
High on Percocet.
And then you're surrounded by a bunch of, like, older male rappers that are probably, like, 10 years her senior.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that have taken over this high school where all this stuff is happening. And, like, there's all this, you know, the weird, just a very cliche, like, sexy cheerleaders and people dancing and all this other shit. And then Miley Cyrus doing her thing that now this is what she does, is just kind of, like, gyrate and grope. And
put her tongue out.
And stick her tongue out and stuff like that. And when you watch the video and the way it seems like, well, these guys that have come and broken into this high school are, like, kind of like the masters of the ceremony or whatever. And that, like, Miley Cyrus and the other, like, she's kind of put in to the grouping of just, like, the high school girls, and, like, and they're kind of pulling the strings, like, the older male figures are pulling the strings and kind of just sexualizing them, and it's anything but empowering, I think, in my opinion, of, like, what female empowerment is, or whatever you want to call it. It's kind of just a fucking bullshit term anyways, but... Like, and then we juxtapose that with something like we were watching a Christina Aguilera music video.
Yeah.
Of her not dirty.
Yeah, not dirty.
But there was one of, like, it's one and she was doing her, like, old-timey kind of music, the swing stuff.
Was it Candyman?
It was from the same style. It was, like, it wasn't Candyman, but it was the same style and stuff like that, and she was, like, you know, one of those pin-up girl type deals. And it was, the way the presentation of it was very, very much so, like, female empowerment and owning yourself and using your sexuality, not as, like, a weapon or anything like that, because I really don't, I dislike that, like, way of, like, the perspective of looking at that kind of thing. Like, I'm going to use my sexuality as a weapon and stuff. I don't know. I always found that to be, like, odd.
It's kind of gross.
A little bit, like, because you're confusing, like, moving forward with sexuality and, like, violence. Because to use the word weapon infers, like, a type of violence, a violent act.
Yeah.
And, like, I find that to be odd. But anyways, so it's been kind of interesting for me from just, like, a, I don't know, sociological point of view to, like, kind of step back and try to watch these things, watch them kind of objectively and not be super judgmental about it. And it's hard for me not to roll my eyes, like, sometimes, obviously, but...
Exactly.
But, like, you know, whatever, I'm the smartest.
You are the smartest. You are the world's bestest thinker.
World's bestest thinker.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you what are your thoughts, because I've just babbled on for a little bit.
No, you're okay if you babble. No, I find Miley Cyrus, I don't find it empowering at all, which is what she says it is. I just find her to be kind of a tool of whoever is around her and what's going on at the time.
Yeah.
So there's nothing empowering about that to me. There is a way to use, like, what's going on in society against itself, you know what I mean? But she's not really accomplishing anything besides getting some more notoriety. She's not making a statement. She's not...
No, she's not, because to make a statement you have to have some type of clarity.
Right.
Like, it can be subtle, and it can be subversive, but you should be able to at least suss out what it is. Like, a smart person should be able to tell what it is, and when you see her stuff, it's like fucking watching nightmares. Like...
In a little bit. Like that one, you know... Big teddy bears everywhere.
yeah. I mean, which is, like, the pedo bear stuff. Like, it's weird. Like, it's weird psychosexual imagery.
Yeah.
And then I watched an interview with her that says that was her idea. And I'm just calling so much bullshit on that. No. She's like, and her thing is, like, I just like teddy bears. I just wanted all these big teddy bears. I was like, you are so full of shit.
Yeah.
Like, you have fucking handlers, you have people who do this for you, you don't even write your own goddamn songs. Why would you design your own stage shows? Like, don't give me that bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, like...
She's no Katy Perry.
She's no Katy Perry.
Joking.
I don't know if we ever talked about that. We did watch the Katy Perry documentary.
That was kind of both of us were like, why not?
Yeah. Well, because it's part of my journey.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, but, like, there's something, like, yeah, you could watch, like, the music video for Wrecking Ball. Like, there is, like, an abstract beauty, like, concept about it that I think works and doesn't work. As soon as she starts licking sledgehammers, I think it ruins it.
Yeah, but then when you find out who the director is, Terry Brooks, he's a famous photographer, he's a skis ball.
Yeah.
And so when you find out at the end that's who that is, like, I totally understand why things... And then it kind of takes away from them, like, any message of vulnerability or, like, power of, like, wrecking through emotional walls or whatever.
Yeah, he comes from the frame of, like, this will be super sexy.
Yeah, it's, like, stripped down sexy, because he's very famous for taking pictures of celebrities and doing weird shit like that, and then always the end photo, the photo shoots, they're wearing his glasses.
Yeah.
And he, like, sleeps with a lot of the celebrities he, like, shoots and stuff.
Oh, probably.
No, but so to me, that's, like, really skeezy, and that would take away from any, like, emotional, vulnerable message that song could give to me.
Well, that's the thing.
Or at least the video message that would be provided with it, you know what I mean? Like, I really don't get anything from that because of that. Which is maybe wrong on my part, but if you're going to present something to try and, like that and for it to prove a message, it's kind of like...
Well, it's the concept of death of the author.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about, I think. Like, you know, it's like you can... And that's a choice on the viewer. Like, you can watch that video and listen to that song in different types of contexts. You can listen to it in a personal... Or listen and watch in a personal context, devoid of, like, production.
Yeah.
Or you can bring in everything that was... set up around it to create that scenario in that piece of music or that in that video.
I'm more talking about, just the video, though, because I think I can separate that song and see it is someone being vulnerable. You know what I mean? At first I was like, oh, fuck this song.
But it's so mechanical. Like, it is so mechanical. No, but it's so mechanical, and, like... And the reality is, like, Miley Cyrus does not have a terrible voice, but she does not have a great voice either.
No.
Like, the only reason that song is popular is because it is pushed. Like, it's given a lot of airtime.
Yeah, and then when the video came out, it skyrocketed.
And that's what makes that shit popular, is that it's about controlled viewership.
Yeah.
Like, if that's all you're only, like, you know, when it comes to, like, top 40 radio, like, you're literally only given those 40 options. And that's all you're exposed to. So that's as wide as your spectrum is. And, like, and it creates this false, like, celebrity ideal. Because they're creating celebrities. It's not like it's not a democratic process where, like, we're, like, going out and buying the music and, like, in an honest way because we like it. It's because that's all you hear, that's all you know about, and then after a while you start responding to it. Like, because, like, it's happened to me a couple times, like, that song gets stuck in my fucking head.
I know, we'll be driving and you're humming it or whistling it, and I start laughing.
And I don't like that song, really, particularly. I don't.
I know. No,
I mean, but, like, you can see the formula at work. You see, like, it's very generic.
The other proof of that, even with Miley Cyrus, was she had that one song, Party in the USA. And she mentions at one point, like, and the Jay-Z song was on. And there was an interview with her where she was like, I really don't know much about Jay-Z or that culture, like, blah, blah, blah. I was just mentioning something popular. And now look at her. She's doing that 23 song. Where
she's hardcore, like, rapper now.
Yeah, she's, like, hardcore immersed in, like, the hip-hop world. So, like, to me, that shows it's a proof of either, like, formed, like, image or, I don't know, it's just weird to me.
I think it has a lot to do with the people that run, like, her quote-unquote handlers. I'm using the term handler.
No, I know what you mean.
But, like...
Well, it's just kind of like Green Day, like, back in the day with, like, the Dookie days, like, we'll never release a very obviously political album, and then lo and behold, we get American Idiot.
10 years later, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like... You say something and do things to kind of fit the, like, the height of the time or whatever. And there's very little artistic integrity left, I feel.
Well, especially when you have things like that are like that big and that produced, and that's the word that's really key is produced.
Yeah.
And like the idea of having producers that come in and like change your sound and change your image and all this kind of stuff. Like, it's happened to bands that I used to really like. There's two bands, and it was the same producer. I can't remember the producer's name, but Kings of Leon and Cold War Kids. There's like one Kings of Leon album. It's fucking incredible.
No,
it's amazing. Yeah. And then the one after that was the one that's like this, Your Sex is on Fire or something like that.
Yeah, Sex on Fire.
And they had gotten like this new producer. And
like
he changed their sound. Like, there's a fundamental difference.
Because they were more like bluesy, kind of, right?
Yeah, but like really raw and like just like
that's what I meant by
like, punk rock attitude, rock and roll.
Yeah, because I've heard some of their older songs. I haven't heard whole albums, but I've heard songs from other people because I always kind of wrote like. I admit, when Sex on Fire came out, that got stuck in my head a shit ton. I was like, that's not that bad.
See, I never I really
no, it would get stuck in my head because I used to hear it a lot, and then I had friends in school that were like, oh no, listen to this, and I listened to it, and I was like, oh wow, you know.
See, I responded really hostily to it because I had just come off of like listening to nothing but their album. I believe it's called On Call. It's either that or Because of the Times, and it has the song On Call and Charmer, which is like fantastic, like these fantastic fucking like just punk rock and roll songs, and it's like a lot of pathos and a lot of like energy and like really great. And then you came out with like a very clearly designed to be radio hit like kind of music,
right?
And it's the shift was really obvious, and they tried it with the Cold War Kids, and the Cold War Kids failed, because they never got a commercial hit after they went with that guy, but there was the same shift. And if you listen to, I can't remember the name of the album, it has something like with colors, something like Colors or something like that.
No, I know the album you're talking about because I was a big Cold War Kids fan.
And it's got like the crayon colors on the front, on the album art, and like, and I don't even remember that album at all. Like I was a big Cold War Kids fan, and like, I don't remember any song off of that. It was so forgettable. It was so obviously, and it was like obvious that it was the same producer as well. Like, there's a similarity there, and it just did not work for them at all.
Kind of happened too with a band I liked, the Walkmen. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Yeah, a little
because
bit.
their song "We've Been Had" was used a lot in actually 9/11 stuff, because the piano part was. Mm-hmm. And then after that, they released an album, and it was like, what the hell? Yeah. So it's like, I don't know.
It's just so weird.
Because they were like their song "The Rat" is like angry and like
yeah.
And then "We've Been Had" kind of hit, and then they got like new producers, new whatever, and just totally it was very different. Their album after Bows and Arrows.
Yeah. Well, I think that's I think there's good producers and bad producers, obviously, but I think once you get producers that are that heavily involved with your creation of your songs, rather than facilitating you recording them,
right?
Just the songs you already wrote as a band or whatever. There's a drastic difference, because a producer is going to want to make something that is successful,
right?
Because it's his name. His name's attached to it. He wants like a couple singles off of it to hit big. And he gets a lot of cachet from that as well.
Yeah.
Just as a proven producer that other big bands are going to want to work with, because he can write good songs.
And that's kind of what I was saying earlier about like the whole artistic integrity thing, because that's when you kind of put that into question. It's like, well, when you decide to work with someone, what are you really deciding? You're not deciding to put yourselves out there. You're deciding to put this like product out there. It's more about the product than the actual like emotion behind it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
like work
it's like the idea, and it's kind of an antiquated term at this point in history, but like being a sellout, and like that's really what it is. You're selling out a little bit, or a lot, depending, I suppose. But you're like, that's what it is. You're selling out, and all that means is like you're trying to be successful.
Yep.
You are purposely with the aim of being successful, rather than like being a band that creates music and letting an audience find you. You want to find an audience, so you're going to create music and art that is tailored for an audience that already exists, rather than having one spring up around you. Yeah. And I think that's like a fundamental difference between like most of the like bands that I like, and more mainstream stuff. And the mainstream, and that's another thing, when you have like, there's probably like, like 5 or 6 producers that are big that everybody works with. Every like top 40 band will work with, and what you get is like this formula, and you get a lot of stuff that sounds the same. And honestly, to me, like in my like for and this is just my personal view, is like I can't tell the difference between a lot of them. Like a lot of the music and the voices and the songs and stuff, because they all sound kind of the same. There's a very, very clear like format that is being worked within.
Yes.
And
it's been that way for a long time.
No, I know it has been like that for a long time, but that's what I mean.
But technically, you could even think about
that way.
You can think about that even back to like Elvis days.
Oh, most definitely.
Like, so it's not even like it's not a new phenomenon, but I think it's so it's so prevalent right now that like an obvious kind of like it's kind of so in your face that it's like just accepted.
Yeah, and it's almost like because he had like probably that kind of same type of like shift. It's always been there, like you said, like in the 40s you had like the crooners, and then you had like Sinatra and Tony Bennett and Dean Martin and stuff, and they're all kind of similar.
Right.
Like they were working this big band format and blah blah blah, and then you had kind of like blues music. That the more popular stuff tends to kind of be very similar.
Yeah, and same with when you got the rock and roll, even when the Beatles came.
That's right,
had,
And then once you had the Beatles were successful, then everybody wanted to
be in a garage rock band
or make bands that sounded like the Beatles. So you had a lot of studio created bands like the Monkees and stuff like that. That's where all that stuff came from.
Hey, don't you talk shit about the Monkees.
No, because the Monkees...
Rest in peace, Davy Jones.
The Monkees are entertaining, right?
Their show was fantastic.
But like even at the time, like a lot of those bands, if they were going to have any longevity, they had to grow out of that. Like the Beatles are a great example of growing out of
the mania
and the format.
Yep.
And the system that they had been working, they really did grow out of it. And you know it's funny, like
thank you LSD.
Yeah, pretty much, right? When they had their like mind awakening stuff, like and people would probably hate me for this, but like I actually prefer like the simpler, like just more poppy Beatles stuff to like their. You're more I want to hold your hand guy. Yeah, then they're like later, like probably more sincere stuff. Which is
I'm the
terrible.
Walrus.
I love that stuff. I do, but I don't know if I like it as much as like going back and listening to like
Helter Skelter.
Well, Helter Skelter's awesome.
Rubber Soul is a perfect album.
Yeah, that's the perfect in between.
That's right. Well, because that is the in between album. That is right before
Sgt. Pepper's as well, I suppose, right?
Yeah, but that's like I think Rubber Soul is still the perfect balance though before they really get like off the deep end.
Yeah.
Like, because they still...
Before they became a borderline jam band for a little while.
Yeah. Just like, hey, man.
It's Fish before Fish was Fish.
Dig this groove. No, like, I think Rubber Soul would be the defining album for me of the Beatles.
Yeah. No, I'd agree.
Because it still has their poppy sensibilities, but they did experiment a little bit and kind of go deeper. It goes deeper. And the lyrics of that album...
Yeah. Woo, I mean, part of that's also age. Yeah. You hit big when you're young. But the thing about the Beatles is they wrote their own fucking songs.
All of them.
Like, so it's not...
Even Ringo wrote songs.
Even Ringo wrote songs. Get a little help from my friend. I mean, come on, man. That's a fucking great song.
Get by with a little help from my friends. I'm the drummer.
Do you need anybody? I want somebody to love. It's a fucking fantastic song.
Yeah.
I love that song.
You're a Ringo, aren't you?
Am I a Ringo? Well, I used to watch Shining Time Station. Pre-George Carlin.
Wow. Did you keep watching it with George Carlin?
Hell yeah, I did.
George Carlin's
I was just watching Shining Time Station, honestly.
I just like trains,
and
man.
I remember, I actually preferred George Carlin. Because when I was a kid, I'd get kind of bummed when Ringo was on. I didn't know who the fuck they were.
Yeah.
I just preferred George Carlin's Mr. Conductor. For whatever reason. And Alec Baldwin as Mr. Conductor, I don't even want to talk about that. And the movie version of Thomas the Tank Engine. No, but it's been an interesting to kind of like delve into that stuff because I haven't probably since I was a teenager. So like there is a good 10-year gap of like kind of music knowledge I don't have.
Yeah.
A lot of newer stuff. So I actually, a lot of the stuff that we listen to when we do that is completely new to me. Like, just because I like to keep on the cutting edge. Like, I've listened to Bees in the Trap for the first time.
Oh my god, that was a really good experience. I wish you all would have, all 5 of you would have been here.
Now I have a pretty sweet physical, what do you call it?
Imitation?
Impression of 2 Chainz. I just walk up and, like, lift a leg up and, like, air hump somebody if they're standing still.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he does.
That's what he does in the video.
But she bees in the trap, man.
She bees in the trap. Bees in the trap. I just like I think it's
Bitches
so.
ain't shit, and they ain't saying
I think
nothing.
it's so funny that like there's like this mixture between like mainstream culture, right, like the everyday person,
Yeah.
and this quote unquote like hardcore gangster culture.
I love it.
But that's why you see like so many like shit bags.
No, I agree. No, I love it, especially in the town we're in. It's fantastic.
Because people like
They like to embody what they think is like...
because they embody it because they think it's real. Like
Yeah.
they don't understand that there is like an image that has been created and put out there because people have responded to it.
No, that's why
People respond to it because it's dramatic.
Yeah.
It's not because it's fucking like...
And kind of like that's why I laugh coming from a big city like Baltimore and coming to a small town like where we are.
I don't think it's any different, honestly.
It's not really any different, but it's just fun, even funnier because they can't even really talk like the hard streets of Aiken. Like really, like,
There's some nasty areas around here.
I'm
There
sure.
there are some nastier areas.
but it's just funny because it's like I'm like what?
Well, that's a personal perspective thing.
Yeah,
Because you could be like, well, there's certain blocks in Baltimore that are really nasty, and certain neighborhoods.
that
There's
I
certain neighborhoods
walk through and it's
but there's certain neighborhoods like 10 miles down the road that you really shouldn't drive through. Like, I mean, so we have that kind of stuff. It's just not like it's not going to have that kind of like.
But it's not the kids living in our neighborhoods that I used to work with.
Oh no,
That's what I mean.
no.
But it's because they listen to Two Chainz.
Yeah, they listen to that shit and they buy it and they act and they think that that's like life and that's reality and that's how you react to things and I know like people
But
probably
it's
think
not just limited to hip hop. It's also like pop sensibilities as well.
no, it's just pop in general because I don't think hip hop is hip hop. Like it's not
Anymore.
Like, rap music is just fucking like it's just mainstream pop music. That's all it is. Same thing like country became just like pop music. It's not. They're not like genre specific anymore. Really.
Yeah.
Like there's so much crossover. Because, like with all that stuff,
that it doesn't.
that it like doesn't really matter anymore. You don't even have to like separate them out anymore. Like I was listening to it, like I was just flipping through the radio station like one day, like while I was driving down the road, and some rap song came on, and because of on this like experiment, like I just left it on, some like hip hop station, and so it's like a hardcore gangster rap. It was like I don't remember, it was Lil Wayne or something like that. Which is not hardcore gangster rap, but like you gotta
Lil
forgive
Wayne's
me.
fucking-
Forgive me. I'm white. I'm fucking not into that like rap or pop music. So like that song got done, and then immediately after that, Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball came on. Like so, it's not like, and that was the hip hop station.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's just like not like I don't think it doesn't really matter anymore. It's just whatever's popular they're gonna play on these radio stations. You know, it's not like separate genres. The only ones that are still kind of that way are maybe like the rock stations. And I listened to some newer rock music, and it's pretty terrible. Like, it's still bad, but like, cause it's been like 5 years since I checked in on it. It's still pretty bad. New Alice in Chains is pretty terrible.
Oh, that's wow. And you like Alice in Chains?
I like those
Well,
classic.
Lane Staley's dead. So.
Classic Alice in Chains. Yeah, Lane Staley's dead. Like, they should have just stopped. Like, don't be Alice in Chains anymore. Just go be a different band. You know, even the guys from Creed knew that once Scott Stapp was not in there,
When he went-
that they stopped being Creed and became Alter Bridge.
Yeah,
Why do
Alter
I know
Bridge.
that?
No, I know that too.
I don't even know why
I know that too because I remember seeing Scott Stapp's mugshots everywhere, and then Alter Bridge popped up.
And Alter Bridge came into being.
They were like, domestic abuse?
People forget. Creed was big for a while.
You know, with Arms Wide Open, I will try to remember that.
But that was like their crossover song. Like, because even those bands have like these crossover songs that hit the top 40 type of charts and
With arms wide open.
under the sunlight. No, it's just.
They love Jesus. It's okay.
Oh, you know what's another song
What?
that I listen to because I like to stay on the cutting edge of music now?
What?
Blurred Lines.
Oh, yeah, you did hear Blurred Lines.
We listened to it a couple times because we watched the regular music video, or I watched the regular music video.
You watched the censored one, though.
Yeah, and then we watched the uncensored one, which is the same video except the women are topless, and the women that are standing next to Robin Thicke.
Alan Thicke's his father.
I know Alan Thicke from Growing Pains, Mr.
yeah.
Seaver.
Yeah.
Like I always could say that too. I was like, yeah, Alan Thicke.
And I'm like, what? What is Alan?
Thicke.
Alan Thicke.
And Robin Thicke just seems like a total dickbag. I've seen him on a couple interviews and stuff. He was even on The Voice.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. And he
missed that
did
one.
a performance, and then he like talked to Carson Daly for a few seconds, and he seems like an idiot. But anyways,
He probably is.
anyway, so we will listen to Blurred Lines, and you know, superficially, Blurred Lines, super catchy fucking song.
No, yeah, I remember it took one time for me to hear that song, and I was like humming it.
It's super simple. It's
Yeah.
it's almost like not anti-music, but it's just basics. It's very fucking basic. It's just got a catchy little beat, catchy little tune. It's got a good like flow with the vocals just flow very nicely, and there's a lot of good melody in the voice and stuff.
Yeah.
It just works. It works.
Yeah.
It's very well. Even the rap part works.
Yeah.
Like it all works. But if you fucking take a second to even listen to a goddamn word they're saying, it's like I feel like a fucking old
Maybe I'm
lady. I
going
feel like an old.
deaf. Maybe I'm going blind.
I feel like an old church lady, like railing against like the devil's music. But like you listen
You
to that,
are.
but you
No.
listen to that shit, and you're just like, how is this not like? Because you know, there's so much talk about like feminism and misogyny and how everybody's racist and horrible and all this shit, and like, and they like to point to things like video games and like what a politician says or something like that. Like those people have any real clout like with society, and they don't. And like, you know what has probably the most clout with society is
Music.
is music and television, because that's everybody kind of has access to it to a certain degree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you want to like see what's like bastardizing people's like ideologies and stuff. Like, listen to a song like Blurred Lines.
You know what, babe? You're an animal, and I ain't trying to domesticate you.
Yeah, it's about sleeping with married women. Like that's what that song's about, and
Yeah.
about how big their dicks are.
Yeah.
How is that? How are people not like howling in fucking outrage about that? Like, I don't get it. I don't get the doubles. I think the double standard is so weird.
It's because Pharrell Williams is involved, and he's a smooth operator.
I guess so. Is it like because people like because a few times when a celebrity has said like a celebrity like Ashley Judd came out and like she wrote a book or something like that. She's actually a really smart lady. Mm-hmm. She's just like a degree from Harvard and everything.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
I know it doesn't mean anything, but like just say she was writing a book about like culture, society, or something. And she came out like said that she just like disapproves of the message of like rap music and stuff like that, and so she was like picketed and railed against as a racist. But like I don't understand, like, so like is there no separation between like quote unquote hip hop culture and black people and like culture?
No.
Black culture? That's what the implication is.
But there is.
I know there is, because that's fucking reality. That's like saying every white person is fucking, you know, like, is associated with whatever's in rock music or country music. You know what
Country.
I mean?
I'd say country.
Probably more so. Well, that depends where you live, though.
I'd say country here.
You know? Hey, man, we have Seven Dust. That's a black dude. We got Jimi Hendrix, motherfucker. Seven Dust. I haven't thought about that in a while.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, so I find it's so weird. Like, there's such a weird, like, double standard, and there's so many just weird things in music videos and in the music and what they talk about, and then it's all very odd.
It is a very odd little sphere.
It is. And it does, and like, you know,
I love watching it.
and you have like all these like conspiracy people out there talking about like the occult symbolism and Illuminati, and everybody in the rap industry is in the Illuminati or something like that. You all have to sell your soul
So
to
is
get to
Kesha.
a certain like level of success, and
So is Kesha.
yeah, and she has sex with ghosts and stuff, apparently, right? Is
Yeah.
that her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kesha has had sex with ghosts.
But see, the thing is, though, like, all that stuff is there because they actually say it. Like, and then they turn around and be like, you're crazy. And I'm not saying those people are actually, like, part of some sort of, like, I don't know, like, cabal, some, like, occult society or whatever, but they definitely fucking identify with it and talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, so this idea of, like calling people crazy for saying that is so retarded. It's like, it's all over your fucking music.
They went to town on Lupe Fiasco for that.
Who did?
All the rap community, when he started talking about it, he was talking about
Well,
it.
that's the thing. Some rappers come out and talk about it as being a thing.
Yeah, he
and
was
then they-
always about, like, anarchy and, like, conspiracy and
then they
stuff.
fall off the map, and then they disappear.
He has disappeared.
Yeah, and they stop being popular.
He's fantastic, though.
Other rappers that have done that is kind of like Mos Def was like that. Like the Roots, even though like the Roots have come back, they're not fucking popular. They've gotten back together and done new music.
And
you hear it?
I've actually been to their recording studio.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, but
No,
have you heard it? Have you heard it? Those
No.
are like outspoken people that actually say things.
They are the band on the Jimmy Fallon show.
Oh, that's true. It's true.
And they do a lot of cool stuff on that show.
They do.
Like blurred lines with children's music instruments and voices.
Nice.
It's pretty sweet. And Jimmy Fallon singing.
Oh, that just sounds like a match made in heaven.
No, it was pretty good.
I'm sure it was entertaining.
Yeah.
No, but you see that stuff, and those people don't like reach like certain levels of success because, and part of that has nothing to do with like Illuminati, a cult, or anything like that. What that has to do with is like when people actually say real things, people don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
People do not want to engage, and they don't want to be bothered. Like if it's not like a superficial, passive experience where you know all the words but you don't even know what you're saying, like because you find that a lot. Like there is so many great. I've seen so many great. Or not seen, but I've had so many great ironic moments in my life of like being like a young person and going to like clubs and stuff like that and just see like a sea of women just like grinding on like dudes that are dressed like Justin Timberlake wannabe like type shit or and like two songs that are referring to them as bitches and hoes.
Yeah.
And they're fucking eating it up. And it's just the weirdest thing to me. Like I always just make me laugh. It's just how can you not laugh at that?
No, I agree. I used to go to clubs.
Like the savagery of it. It's so disgusting. It is. It's like Sodom and Gomorrah out there, people. Let me tell you.
Something's gonna happen.
No, I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of fascinated with that stuff. Like, I love conspiracy theory shit in general.
I know you do.
I like learning about it. I don't put a lot of stock into it, but like I do enjoy like learning about it and some of it's definitely there, not all of it. You know, but if you watch like one of those like an hour-long video on YouTube, like exposing the Illuminati and the rap industry or whatever, you might kind of believe it at the end because you're like in this tunnel vision and you're only seeing what the person that's making that video allows you to see about it.
Yeah.
And being super uninformed about that like genre of music or whatever, like I don't know any better. So yeah.
You ain't from the streets.
Yeah. Actually, you know what's a particularly disgusting like music video that we watched? The newer one.
What?
That new Rihanna music video.
Which one?
Remember the one she's on the chair?
Oh yeah, being a.
And it just looks like a nightmare. Another one. It just looks like somebody's fucking.
I don't remember the name of the song. We were just
freaky ass
YouTube
nightmare,
clicking.
and she was just like shaking her ass, twerking on a chair.
She was
looking
more
like
than
she was-
twerking. It
looking
was like a
she-
porn almost.
looking like she's miserable, while like there's these women in like oil water swimming around. Like it was stupid. First of all, this is dumb, and it just looked like a fucking nightmare. And the song was terrible to boot.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Shaun does not like the new Rihanna.
she's got a lot. Actually, a lot of her music videos are pretty interesting. There's a lot of like weird, like psychosexual imagery and stuff.
yeah.
Like some of it's not even associated with what she's singing about, which makes it even weirder.
Oh, I agree.
Actually,
Especially
there was a Rihanna music video that like they scroll past like all these like newspapers and stuff, and it says like Illuminati slut on it. I think there's two different minds. I think there's also that could be like her answering her accusers or whatever. Like this is like maybe it was like a collage of like people saying bad shit about Rihanna. And
I don't
that was
know.
one of them.
We'll have to watch it.
Yeah. See Rihanna get what was that other one? The really freaky one she did, music video.
Which one? The one with the smoke and stuff?
No, she did one that was another like nightmare one.
Oh, Disturbia?
Disturbia.
Bum bum beada bum bum ba
I definitely did see that music video.
And you know what the funny thing about the Disturbia thing to me is? That song came out right after her and Shia LaBeouf broke up, and he was in Disturbia.
She dated Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah, that's when he went crazy. It was when Rihanna broke up with him.
He went crazy?
Yeah, he started like flipping out in Walgreens and shit, and got arrested for the first time. And then he got in his really bad car accident and stuff because he's going off the deep end because Rihanna dumped him.
I have no idea.
But then she wrote that song, and it was called Disturbia. And then it was like, what? He was in Disturbia.
That sounds like a...
Sarah Dillon conspiracy.
No, it doesn't, because it probably was. Because, like, we were talking about that as well, like, in reference to, like, Miley Cyrus and stuff, and how, like, aware we are of their lives.
Yeah.
So, she just recently got dumped by Chris Hemsworth, and then comes out with the song Wrecking Ball that has lyrics that could vaguely be referencing that relationship.
Yeah.
Like, it's very intentional. Like, they're like, oh, this is a good song for you at this point in your life.
Those Hemsworth boys are hard to crack, let me tell you.
Like walnuts.
Delicious walnuts.
Thor 2 still sucks, though, Chris. I'm sorry. You should get out of the Marvel game.
Yeah.
Go be Aquaman.
No!
Actually, he would be good Aquaman.
What about his brother?
No. I don't like his brother.
You know his brother almost got Thor.
Well, good thing he didn't, because Chris Hemsworth is a good Thor. Those movies are just not good.
Yeah, and that gave him time to do the fucking Hunger Games, so...
Yeah, and then he free up his brother to date Miley Cyrus and probably be miserable and
be in the Hunger Games.
In the Hunger Games, yeah.
Chris Hemsworth ruined Liam Hemsworth's life.
He did. It's very tragic.
I think that's pretty funny.
Chris Hemsworth also killed Heath Ledger.
He did not. Stop it. Don't you talk about Chris Hemsworth
I'm
like that.
I'm just kidding, y'all. Just goofing. Oh my god.
What?
This is how it happened in the same night we were YouTubing like a lot of these pop music videos.
Yeah.
What the hell is that name of that kid?
Oh shit.
Is it Steve Huey?
Yeah. Stevie Huey or
Stephen Huey?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Look on YouTube, look up Stephen Huey, and then just watch some of that stuff. It's crazy.
Shaun made me watch it for like 45 minutes.
It's just like this 13-year-old, like...
I'd say he's older than 13.
Or maybe 15 at the oldest. Like Southern gay kids, like, vlog. And he doesn't, like, he has the most terrible equipment. Some of them you can't even understand. He'll just get on there and talk about 2 minutes about, like, how much he didn't like Rango, even though he only watched, like, half of it. But he was so bored, and everybody in the room hated it, because they all fell asleep. It was perfect.
My mom fell asleep in that chair over there, and...
It was perfect. And then he sings songs terribly.
No, beautifully, like an angel.
Listen, it was perfect. I was just like, I was so blown away. I was a little drunk, but I was also really blown away. I was like, man, that's a fucking person. Like, that is a real human being, and not in like a snarky way or anything. There's just something about it. I was just like, well, that kid is unfiltered.
We'll find his name and link it into the.
That kid is himself. Like, that's like, it's kind of incredible to a certain degree. I was just like, there is no artifice at all in his videos, and I was like, wow. I mean, obviously,
I like the ones where he's walking around the woods, just talking
about anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was crazy. It was a wild trip. But yeah. So that's our lecture on the state of current modern music, I guess.
For 47 minutes.
I gotta talk about something. You gotta fill the time, you know?
I could have talked about Zelda for that long.
Well, let's talk about that. So Sarah got her Christmas present early this year.
Yay!
What did you get, Sarah?
I got a limited edition 3DS. It is gold. It has a Triforce, 2 Triforces on it. And it came with a digital copy of Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds, the newest Zelda game.
Which is kind of the spiritual sequel to Link to the Past.
But also, I'm going to argue, spiritual sequel to all the Zeldas.
It's like a nostalgia trip game.
It is. No, it really is.
I think it's specifically designed to be that.
Yeah, but it's awesome. Mm-hmm. And I also got Animal Crossing. So that's what I've been doing with my 2 days off in a row.
So what do you think of the new Zelda?
I really like it. I'm actually probably going to play it when we're done the podcast. Because I got to get up Death Mountain.
That's a tough haul.
Dude, you have like lava. You might have to help me. There's like lava boulders falling down and killing me.
I can't be helping you, Sarah. That's not a hero's journey. Do you want to be the hero of the story, or do you want to be like the hero that was
I'll still be the hero.
I'll see the ending.
Yeah, exactly. That's all that matters.
You're going down, Ganon.
No Ganon in this one.
Not yet.
No.
Are you sure?
From what I'm understanding is you're fighting this... I can't remember his name right now. It's this guy who can turn things into paintings. And he's going around trying to collect all 7 sages, protectors of the world, into paintings. And he's gotten 2 of them so far and is going after Princess Zelda, so the castle has this dark cloud around it right now.
Are they allowed to make Zelda games without Ganon?
Well,
it's Nintendo, so I'm asking.
They're referencing back to when Ganon attacked...
I know, I'm kidding.
No, I'm just telling you.
I was being facetious.
I know you were, and I'm ignoring it. No, but so what they're doing is they're referencing back to when the first hero had to save Hyrule, and they broke the Triforce, and Ganon has part of the Triforce. But also, you know, it's talking about in old times how Ganon, and they're reminded with this new guy of the Ganon times.
Okay.
That's what I'm picking. That's what's happening so far, guys. I've only got 1 pendant out of 3.
Well, even if we shouldn't spoil that game for people, anyways. But
I'm going to.
I'm going to make a prediction that Ganon probably shows up
in his pig form
at some point. I don't know.
Or is he be Ganondorf?
You could go either way with that game. I think.
I want him to be pig.
Go either way with that one. I'm not sure. And then you also got Animal Crossing.
Yes.
Which you can't spoil, so you can talk all about that. I've never played an Animal Crossing game, so...
Yeah, so you didn't know that it's all real time?
No, I didn't know that they were all like that. I thought that was
They were all real time, which is kind of aggravating. Which I told you I cheated that one time and changed the date to like several months ahead of time. And just had to deal with a whole bunch of weeds in my town. Fucking annoying. And I had to do town raiding at that point, so I had to get rid of all of them. Spent like 3 hours picking weeds.
Well, I guess you gotta do something in that game besides fish.
No, because that's how you get money.
But what do you do in that game? I don't understand it. Is it just like a town simulator thing where you run the town?
Well, with the new one, you are the mayor. In the old ones, there was a mayor and you were just someone in the town. In this one, you arrive to the town you create, you pick the layout and everything, you name it, and you're the new mayor.
What's the name of your town?
De Leon.
Okay.
Because that's, you know, where my last name comes from.
Oh, okay.
Yep, boom. Of the Lion, thank you very much. No, so you go, you arrive in town, you have to pick a house, and you have a mortgage you have to pay on the house that's built for you, so you have to do things to get money to pay off your mortgage, so you can get bigger houses, or just pay off your debt.
Yeah.
But then, as the town mayor now, once you get your license and all that, you have to get 100% approval rating with all the other townspeople, which is like talking to them, picking up trash, like planting things, like, you know, making the town good. You're able to do civic services, so it's like things that the townspeople want, and you have to donate money towards it to have it paid off and built. Like right now I'm trying to build a bridge. It's 130 bells.
Sounds riveting.
130,000 bells. No, it's just like a city simulator, kind of, but then like, and then like the more you buy things in shops, they expand so you can have more products in it. You can buy clothes, you collect fossils and things of nature for their museum that they put on display. You can walk around and look at them.
And it just goes indefinitely, right?
Yeah.
It just never ends.
No.
Until you become General Electric.
Yeah. Pretty much. No, I think it's fun. It gets aggravating when you've done a lot for a day. I think that's part of the purpose of it, so it makes it a longevity game.
Yeah, because it's not a rush. It's not a game you're supposed to like try to get to the end.
No, you're just trying to...
You just play it.
Yeah. And even, like, you know, like right now, if I were to turn on, it'd be dark outside.
So what happens if you don't play it for, like, 2 weeks?
Your town's in shambles.
That's a pretty impressive game, Sarah.
People wonder, like, where you've been. And, like, you'll have weeds everywhere. And, like...
These people can't take care of these people retarded?
You're the only one
mentally handicapped?
Oh my goodness. No, yeah, and you gotta take care of shit.
Take care of business, huh?
Yeah.
It's the mayor of De Leon.
Yeah. I am.
Keeping it on lockdown.
Building a bridge.
You're building a bridge currently?
And then I gotta raise 20,000 bells to put ordinances in.
How long does it take to build the bridge? Like 5 days?
As long until I can pay it off. I have to pay it off because no one makes donations.
You better get fishing.
I have $135,000 to pay for a fucking bridge. Ooh. You can only have 3 bridges in your town at once, too. But, no, I find stuff like that fun, though, especially if you have, like, time just to pass.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't really like fishing, so I like trying to find the new fish so I can give it to the museum.
Well...
Because then you walk around like an aquarium and you can zoom in and just watch fish swim.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do it in 3D now.
Yeah, which hurts my eyes.
Yeah, it does after a while, right?
Yeah.
It's actually
But
cool.
I keep going with it.
I mean, like, I've never owned a... The last, like, Nintendo handheld I owned was a fucking Game Boy.
Wow.
Yeah, I never got, like, a Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance.
Or the, SP.
What is it?
SP? That was the first, like, flip open one?
Nope.
Wow, you were deprived. I got that for a get well from surgery gift.
I didn't want it. Like, I never even wanted it.
But the fucked up thing about that gift was, like, so I had surgery on my neck. So I had stitches and I'd be in bed for a while. So my mom was, like, being a sweet mom, bought me the Zelda game for it. Bought me that.
I just played it.
Played it in the other room. So I'd be in bed. I'd be like, God damn it, Mom.
No, but there's a lot of cool games out for, like, the DS and stuff, and the 3DS.
Yeah, 3DS is actually supposed to be really good for RPGs, which excites me, because I would like to start getting back into playing some RPGs.
Yeah, they have, like, the Shin Megami Tensei series, which is a offshoot of, like, the Devil Summoner series. Mm-hmm. It's like something to... I know it's, like, the Persona series is, like, a spin-off of it, or vice versa. It might be vice versa, I'm not really sure. But I like the Persona series, so...
Well, we might have to get that then.
Well, Persona's not on...
Even though it's my DS.
Goddamn. 3DS. Persona's too good for that.
Excuse me? Get out of town.
No, there's a lot of cool stuff. Like, I like the interactive story stuff they have. Like, actually, I bought one a while ago that I still haven't played, 999. I played for a couple hours.
Yeah, and you liked it.
I did like it, yeah.
Well, that DS is yours now, because I have the 3DS.
No.
So, have fun with it.
Yeah.
No, but I want to get, like, Star Fox.
Yeah, you want to basically just buy into what Nintendo does by re-releasing all the same games. But I can't speak. I can't say that because I do that a lot.
You do that a shit ton. I don't want to hear it.
I did it today.
Yeah, you did do it today, so I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VIII was released on Steam today, and I bought it. And I already
have it.
I have it, and I'm like...
You probably have it twice.
25 hours into a game on my PlayStation.
And you're just like, you know what?
Well, like, there's I don't know. I like having it on the PC, too. I don't know why. I like to have the Final Fantasy games on, like, every system I own. So whenever I feel like playing it...
You can do it.
That's my turn off my brain, and I can play them, because I've played them so many times. Like, I can just sit there and I just enjoy them. It's, like, peaceful. It calms me. Go relive my adventures with, Cloud and Squall.
Squall was hot.
Whatever, man. Yeah, but actually the PC port of 8 is not super good. It's not as good as the PlayStation version that I have on my PlayStation 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
They basically... Square does, like, a lot of cash-in stuff,
mm-hmm.
where they don't really do too much to shit. And... Final Fantasy VIII was actually released on the PC in, like, 2000.
Yeah.
And this is, like, basically just a port of that. And it was an inferior version to begin with. Even the MIDI even the music is, like, MIDI files. They're not as good as the PlayStation, like, version music.
How
and it makes it grating, and you can't turn the music down either.
Oh, that sucks.
I was like, oh, man. Because in, like, Final Fantasy VII, you could, like, balance the music out. Because I'll, like, throw on a podcast and play them.
Yeah, because you played them so many times.
Yeah, and...
Doesn't really matter.
I can't really do that with 8. I was trying to today. It was just annoying. But yeah, I was actually really disappointed. Even, like, the analogs, it doesn't have true analog support. So analog is the joysticks on the gamepad.
I know.
And what that gives you is 360 degrees. Like, so it's not like a D-pad. Like a D-pad, you have 8 directions you can go, right? It's basically just like using a D-pad, except you have the joystick, so you get all these weird stilted movements, and like you can't like move organically. Hopefully they'll patch it and they'll fix it like within the next like couple weeks or something. But
so listen up, Steam.
And they have like the new thing, like in Final Fantasy VII, for the PC re-release, they added a character booster, which boosted all your
But that doesn't matter for 8, right?
8 did not do that.
Oh,
Well, 7 doesn't do levels. It doesn't boost your levels.
It just builds your stats.
No, it doesn't touch your stats, and that's kind of what annoyed me about it.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted just to play through the game, so I could just play through the story. I don't really have to worry about anything. And I thought the character booster was going to do that. The only thing the character booster actually does is give you 9,999 health and then 999 MP. It doesn't actually affect your stats or anything.
That sucks.
And it gives you 50 million gil.
Oh, wow.
So you can buy it anything you want.
You're a baller.
But Final Fantasy VIII is different because Final Fantasy VIII, unless you want to make the game more difficult,
Well, yeah, you don't level up.
you don't want to level up a ton if you just want to play through the game.
Right.
So,
Which is why I was super good as a kid, I guess.
what you have to do in 8 to make 8 easy is learn how to junction magic correctly.
Yeah.
But to junction magic, you have to level up your GFs. And to level up your GFs, you kind of have to level up a little bit. And so that affects your stats. And you junction the magic, and depending on the benefit of the stat, so the stat will boost more based on how much magic you have. And Final Fantasy VIII had the system of drawing magic, which you will spend hours doing, like I do. And Sarah sat through it a few times of me just in battles, putting enemies to sleep, and then drawing magic from him for 45 minutes.
Yep.
To try to get all my characters with 100 of all the magic they have to offer. Because if I come across an enemy that has new magic, I have to draw it to 100. So I can equip it to my stats.
Oh my god.
It's crazy. But Final Fantasy VIII does not have a character booster, it has a magic booster.
Oh, okay.
And it gives you an assortment of magic. It's not all the magic in the game, which I don't understand why not. But it'll give you 100 magic of a bunch of stuff.
Yay.
Like Curagra, Fire, Blizzard, so you have all this stuff at the outset that can make your characters more powerful, kind of. But it was kind of annoying to play. So if they don't really fix it, I don't really know if I'm really gonna play it too much on the computer. It's okay. I use my GameStop rewards points to buy it. So
keep digging your nerd hole, boy.
That's okay. It's okay. I also bought Mass Effect, the original Mass Effect again. Because I haven't played it since I had an Xbox 360, which was a long time ago. And that game's still awesome. Actually, really like that game a lot. And after replaying that one, I kind of like it more than I like the sequels. Because it's just more story based.
It's more
of an adventure game.
Yeah.
And it's just cool. It's more Star Trek than Star Wars, I guess, is a good analogy. Star Trek being a little bit more thoughtful and ponderous, and Star Wars being a little bit more action.
Action?
Propulsive plot stuff. More dramatic. More opera. I mean, I don't know. Mass Effect is just... The first game is just really fantastic. So I'm happy to be playing that again.
Good. I want to play Zelda. I don't know. I think that's about it. That's what we've been up to.
Well, do you have any Netflix recommendations? Anything on Netflix you've seen lately that you like to recommend?
Robin Hood.
The
Disney's Robin Hood.
Yeah, when was that movie made? 70s?
Yes, I think it's the 70s.
Yeah, the 70s. That's
It's my favorite Disney movie.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Well, those people might not know.
No, they don't. Now you do. It's interesting to watch those older Disney movies and see how different the pacing and the dialogue is and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and the way they constructed the stories. They're much more lackadaisical.
Yeah.
They're not super because if you watch what people consider the golden age of Disney, or the second golden age of Disney is the 90s.
Yeah.
So they consider the first golden age Cinderella, Snow White, stuff like that, and then after that it's Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast. And then there's that those middle years where you have like the Jungle Book and like Robin Hood and the
Alice in Wonderland,
Sword and Stone, and
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland is part of like the golden era.
Oh, okay.
That's the 40s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
That's just one we just didn't mention. So there's that weird era, and all those movies are kind of similar in the way that they are like lackadaisical, and they're paced, and the dialogue is much more natural. It's much more like regular people talking.
Yeah.
Than you see in a lot of the other ones. It's just a weird. They've got a really interesting, unique quality to them, and I kind of understand maybe why they're not as popular with some people. People not having the patience for them. Like, I can't imagine putting Robin Hood on for like a modern kid and like having them watch it.
Not true. I did that when I was a teacher in a daycare. I was like, I'm showing these kids Robin Hood because they've not actually. One of them saw it. Mm-hmm. That was a hit.
Was it really?
They love Robin Hood. Like, even the older kids that were like almost in middle school.
They liked it, yeah.
They liked it, and cause, like for them, I told them like pay attention to what they're saying. You know what I mean? I was kind of like, just listen to what they're trying to say. Like, don't let anyone hold you down. It's kind of like what I was saying to them. And then the little kids love it because it's animals, you know?
Yeah.
And the songs. All the songs are great in that movie. So I actually had great success, and I think that one got rewatched like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they'd asked me to play Robin Hood. I bring it from home. I had the DVD. So I bring it from home. And we'd watch it on movie day. That and Fantastic Mr. Fox. Those are the 2 big movies.
The Wes Anderson one?
Uh-huh. Those are the 2 big movies I used to watch with the kids.
Well, actually, Fantastic Mr. Fox is kind of like those movies in its pacing.
Yeah, but they liked it. I think it was just because to them it's different. It's not unique to us like the Pixar movies were. Like, the Pixar movies were like where we were like, whoa.
Well, it's because...
And I think it's different to them. And I think another thing that amazed them about Robin Hood was I told them all before it started, I said, know that this was all hand-drawn. People drew this with their hands.
Yeah, I know.
And that, like, fucking blew their minds.
Because you're giving them context for appreciation. Like, it's not like just sitting them in front of it and, like, walking away.
Yeah, no. I never did that with movies and stuff, because I was like, gotta make the most out of movie day.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, if they were just to, like... And I'm not saying that's true for... I mean, obviously there's different... You know, everybody has different tastes. Kids have different tastes and stuff like that. But I'd be surprised if, like, just, like, your average kid would, like... Without... Free of context, you just put it on and walked away, would, like, get immediately invested. Unless they were kind of had to pay attention. Like, you're in a scenario where they're at school... And they get to watch a movie, and it's like, watch a movie or not watch a movie. Like, they're going to watch the movie.
Not all the time. You'd have kids not want to pay attention to a movie like Harriet the Spy they do not like.
Oh, because Harriet the Spy is boring.
No, but I was just saying, I put on Harriet the Spy, and they just, like, fucking started, like, talking, running around the room, like... But Robin Hood captivated them. I think the music helps, because I think that it's, like, interesting to have the songs tell the stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
So I think if you were to put it on for a kid from the get go, the music would maybe pull them in.
Well, see, because
that's what I always loved about Robin Hood.
I always thought like they seemed much more like
action attentive.
No, like I'm saying that the movies from that era, like Robin Hood and stuff.
I thought you meant the kids.
Like that's more not designed for a specific age group. And, like, when you said Pixar, that's kind of the same thing. Yeah. Well, they're, like, you could say, quote-unquote, like, children's movies. You can be any age and watch those movies and be engaged with it because they're working on different levels.
Yeah, I understand.
I think Robin Hood is much more just... Because it's just the story of Robin Hood.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Talking about taxes and... you know...
I don't know. I actually kind of like to see the new Disney movie, Frozen. I thought the trailer looked terrible, but I gather it's not that bad. It's like if you like Tangled, you'd probably like that. And I thought Tangled was okay.
I like Tangled a lot.
Yeah, so people were comparing it to Tangled.
Oh, well, maybe we'll have to go see it.
Which, Tangled was another movie I had no interest in watching. I just happened to watch it because I was over my friend's house and they have a kid and they watched Tangled.
What? Tangled is great.
But I know, but I'm like 25 years old. Like, I didn't...
So?
Just didn't have any interest in watching it. And I've never been like a big Disney person in general. Because, like, I went and rewatched my little sister and I went and saw The Lion King when it was re-released in 3D.
Yeah.
And as an adult, I just didn't really care for it. Like, from an adult perspective of being...
I was
just,
never
like,
big on Lion King.
Enjoy it. I used to like Lion King when I was younger. Yeah.
I was more of a Little Mermaid.
I liked Little Mermaid.
I loved Aladdin.
I liked Aladdin. I didn't really care for Beauty and the Beast. I think that's the one that I kind of...
I like Beauty and the
didn't
Beast.
watch a whole ton.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Just because it was pretty.
Oh, the animation is beautiful. All the animations in those movies are beautiful. Aladdin probably takes the cake, though, for that. Like, being really cinematic. And, like, just, like, the way they use the colors and stuff.
Yes, but so is Beauty and the Beast with, like, the stained glass and stuff?
Yeah, no, the Beauty and the Beast, yeah.
Beauty and the Beast was the first CGI animation combination.
That's right, yeah, when they started mixing that stuff.
The ballroom.
Uh-huh.
Because, like, you have CGI in Aladdin with the tiger's head, but there's no other animation on top of it when the tiger's head opens.
Yeah.
But Beauty and the Beast with the ballroom, because the
the
ballroom's all
characters-
CGI, but the characters are hand-drawn.
Yeah. And now they don't do that at all anymore, so...
No.
Now it's all computers. Which is a shame. I think it was the last, like, traditional one was The Princess and the Frog?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they did
and they
that...
basically, like, were threatened to retire it if it wasn't successful, and it wasn't successful. Like, retire the style.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't successful.
But I heard good things about it, though. I have never seen it. I heard the music's great.
Princess and the Frog's okay.
We'll have to watch it.
It's like, it's, you know, when you are older, like, it's... And more just familiar with stories and stuff in general, like, when I watch The Lion King now as an adult, I see all of what it's calling from and all the influences and the actual story. It's actually just Hamlet.
Yeah.
And, like, I see that, and then I just see kind of a crappy Hamlet. When I was a kid, I didn't know any better. I obviously didn't know any better. Like, I had no idea.
Oh, you obviously knew about Hamlet.
Not when I was that young, no.
I'm joking with you.
No, but, like, so it just, the impact wasn't there, and then it felt like, and then you realize how short it is. It's like 80 minutes long. And you're like, wow, like, it felt very slight. It was weird. Seeing it as an adult, and, like, that's an adult perspective on it, on truly a children's movie, pretty much. I don't know. Like, I've also never been, I watched Disney movies as I was a kid, but I've never been, like, a big Disney person. In general.
That's where we differ, but I grew up in Florida, so kind of grew up with that.
Yeah. Like, I never really got into a lot of that stuff in any, like, significant way, other than I liked them when I was younger. I liked Pixar a lot. I still like Pixar, actually.
I still love Disney in general. I love it.
What do you love about it?
What do I love about it? I like whimsical stories. Whether they draw on other stories or not, I think they had a really good way of displaying it sometimes.
Oh, no, I don't think there's anything wrong with drawing from other stories, because that's every fucking story's derivative. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
What I'm just saying, when you're older, then you see it. You see what it's actually drawing from, and I'm, like, intimately aware of the stories they're drawing from, so when I see it now, I have that frame of reference.
Yeah.
It's just not as impactful.
But
that's where those kids learn that stuff. That's like parables and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, you're just repurposing a story for make it more easily digestible for a younger, like, generation. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. At all. No, not at all.
I still think they're awesome.
That's fine. I'm not saying there's any reason not to.
No, I know. I'm just saying we disagree. Disney, awesome.
Okay.
Boom.
I don't know. You have anything else you'd like to say?
Nope, not really.
Okay. All right, everybody. I'm Shaun.
Sarah.
And you've been listening to my Future Has Been Facefucked podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.